Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and thanks so much for watching. Today I'm sharing everything that I got on Amazon this month. I have not done one of these in a very long time. It's a lot of things. I've got home, fashion, beauty, baby, some stuff for my husband. Some of these would be great Christmas ideas. Everything I'm talking about is going to be linked in the description bar below for y'all to shop. I will have it like numbered. It'll be very, very easy to shop. And of course you can check out my Amazon storefront because I have everything linked there as well. And let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so to make sure I do not miss anything, I have it all here on my iPad. So if you see me looking down, that is what I'm looking at. First up is this grout scrubber. This is such an impressive tool that I got from Amazon. I've only had it for a couple weeks and it will hands down be in my 2022 like best of yearly favorites, whatever that video ends up being called. This is a grout scrubber, and no, it cannot be used as a toothbrush. I think like multiple people were joking when they said that, but at the same time enough people asked that I was like, please don't use this as a toothbrush. It will rip your gums off. Like first you can just push it up like that and kind of hold it, or you can actually click it up. Like no, you can't use this as a toothbrush. You maybe could use a toothbrush to scrub your grout, but I feel like a good like brush like this that has the really thick bristles that aren't going to tear up easy, like you would end up paying the exact same amount that you paid for this. So just get this brand. It does come with a separate head, so this one does actually look similar to a toothbrush in my opinion, and they have this one that's got like the more pointed tip to it. So I use this on my shower, sink, every single surface that usually takes me so long to clean and scrub by hand, and it was like $1/4 of the time. So this is worth every single penny that I spent for it, and it will hands down be in my 2022 yearly favorites video. Now, next one. Oh my gosh, the response I got. So many people were like, it's so cringy. You don't know how to use that wine opener. And I was like, there are much cringier things in the world. Like we ain't gonna get, it's not that deep, sis. We ain't gonna get up in arms about it. So I was a bartender in college. I am used to using a cheapy, quick, easy wine opener, okay? I do have a bottle of 19 Crimes here. If you've never tried this wine, hands down, it's the best. I don't even like Cabernet, and their Cabernet is so good, but this is just the red blend. This is my favorite. I'm going to open it for you guys with my fancy wine opener so that you don't make the same mistakes I do and get called cringy by people on the internet when it's really not that deep. So I do prefer to cut the like top layer off of my wine bottle. I don't know if you need to do that. I just prefer it. And then basically this fancy wine opener here, all you do is you push this arrow down on the wine bottle all the way until the cork comes back up. Like apparently it's going to go all the way through the cork and then pull it back up, and you only do the up arrow once you're trying to actually get the cork off of the like corkscrew itself. So just to show you here, you probably should put this on the ground. So let's see. See? So you pull it out and then you push the up button. And it will hand you back your cork. People are apparently very passionate about this. So this fancy little wine opener has been great, and it does come with its own little stand if you are fancy. But I did not grow up fancy. I was a bartender and we use these because they are quick. When you're on a Friday night shift and your bar is full, this is your savior. Now, I'm not going to put the cork back in the wine because that leads me to this next product that I purchased, and I can't believe I don't have one of these and haven't had one already. So this actually, I just call it literally wine saving grace. It comes with 4 little caps to it, and what I love about these is that they actually have little notches on them, so you can put how many days it's been since you opened the wine. So today is day 1. I don't recommend ever keeping your wine open. This goes up to 30. I don't recommend keeping your wine open that long. But what you can do is this is going to literally be your saving grace for your wine. So you're going to pop one of those in. I know it's not the cutest, but you take this little device and you start pulling at the top. Okay, so I just opened the wine, so there's not a lot of space, but basically you start pulling until it's like too hard to pull it by itself. So see, it's completely open, meaning that this has taken all of the air out of the wine, and it is going to save your wine and make it last a lot longer. Again, I would not recommend saving your wine for a month. I would maybe, I think our rule was 10 days max. Most of the time it was 7, and we did use these, not this exact brand, but we did use these when I was a bartender, and I just love them. The more that you drink out of the wine, the longer it's gonna take to actually use this. But again, when you like get to the point where like, ugh, and you can't get it open anymore and it is like completely extended like this, then you know all the air has been pulled out of your wine bottle and it is going to save your wine. So love those little like wine finds this month. I think the biggest reason I just bought these is because, I mean, my son's just now 6 months old. Wine kind of made me feel a little bit weird. Like it gave me just the oddest feeling for a while. So I would say when my son was about 4 or 5 months old was when the wine feeling kind of went away. So I've been able to drink wine again and I love it. So I bought those this month on Amazon. Next are these adorable little waffle makers. I love these so much. Now, if you're seeing this, it's probably a little bit too late. This one does come on Prime, but they have lots of different, I think they had like a pumpkin, they had a skull, so you could still get the pumpkin in November. They had, I think a Christmas one. So these are little mini waffle makers, and this one has a skull in it. So it basically, you can kind of do it a couple ways. We just fill the batter in the skull, and then when you put the lid down, it does kind of rise out and then it fills the entire thing. But babies love waffles, and I had always heard that. I didn't know until I gave my son his first waffle the other day, and I was like, ah, got it. I mean, literally, we put it down in front of him, and we do baby-led weaning, so everything's, you know, like cut up nice in proportion, and he literally took his hands and scooped it towards him and just shoved it in his mouth, and I was like, okay, I respect the excitement, but like, let's chill. So I got that for Halloween. I thought it would be so cute, but I do have this one that is just a regular waffle maker as well. It's very, very quick, very easy. It just does make, you know, tiny little waffles. Definitely not big ones, but if you want to make a quick breakfast, a quick little waffle, this is a great way. I also have seen like a guy on TikTok, he actually used the Kodiak, I believe is the brand, protein like pancake mix that you mix and then put in the microwave. He was making waffles for himself, and he literally had one of these in his classroom. He was a teacher, and he like poured it on and made himself waffles in the middle of his class, and I just thought it was hilarious that this guy was like literally making waffles with protein waffle mix while teaching. We did need some more. I mean, there's literally nothing exciting about this. It is a silicone non-stick cooking sheet. We just needed some more of them because we just cook a lot with like parchment paper, and I don't love to just use parchment paper every time. So these are reusable. That's all I can really say about that. If you like to take your lunch to work, I've got you. This has got to be one of my favorite Amazon purchases of all time. It is a mini crock pot. Now, this is not for cooking. This is for reheating your food, and I cannot say that enough. This is not going to be like if you live by yourself and you're just one person. Like, this is not that. So my husband, he likes to take his lunch to work, and I am a big crock pot person. I like to make a ton of crock pot food. We've got chili going. My mom made potato soup yesterday, and this is perfect for when he does take those leftovers to work. So there is a top lid. This is actually, I don't know if this is how you're supposed to do it, but this is just the way that he prefers. When he gets to work, he will actually take this lid off and then make sure that this lid that actually like seals into the pot is completely sealed. There is a little spot right here for steam if it does come out. And this is the little inner pot for the actual food itself, and then this you don't touch at all. So he just prefers for that to be all the way on there. And then there is a hidden cord underneath. Now, it does heat up fairly quickly. For him, he says he's usually good. Now, he doesn't like his food like piping hot. I have not used it as far as like heating up, reheating my food, because I don't travel. I like work from home. But he says that for him, he's like 20 minutes and it's good. So he says about like 20 to 30 minutes before lunch, he will just take this lid off, plug it in, and usually by the time he's ready to eat lunch, it is good to go. They have these in a ton of colors. I think it fits 20 or 21 ounces. Such a good little travel crock pot. But again, please don't cook your food in that. I don't believe that's food safe. And then this battery storage container. So my husband and I had batteries all over the place, especially now that we have a baby. There are batteries needed for so many things. So we got this little, I'm trying to show it to you without spilling any batteries, this little battery organizer, and it is so nice. It is heavy, but the plastic itself is heavy duty. I do wish that the lid locked because I dropped this after I first organized it, and batteries everywhere. It was a nightmare. But that's the only real downside to it. Apart from that, it fits a ton of batteries, so many different sizes, and the quantity is great. So that has been awesome to have all of our batteries organized and easy to see and access without, like, you know, having this pack of batteries and this pack of batteries and a pack of batteries over there. This is technically my second one of these. We have a Zule, I believe that's how you would say that brand, white whisk. Like, it's literally this but white. I want to say we've had it for 3 or 4 years. I mean, we've had it forever, and finally, after just so much wash, the front part of the whisk is starting to come off. So definitely something that lasts for a very long time, and it still works. It's just kind of annoying that that whisk like does come off and kind of like spin all over the place. You can like wind it back in, it's just not the easiest, and it doesn't stay. So marble one here with an adorable little stand, sits on our counter. You can use this. I have heard that powder collagen is it doesn't work when you put it into hot beverages. I don't know if there's any truth to that because I take liquid collagen, but I know a lot of people use that for like their collagen in their coffee or creamer. If you're my husband, you use it to mix like, you know, chocolate milk, strawberry milk, anything like that. So I love that, very easy to use. And like, I think we replaced the batteries on our white one time in the 3 years we've had it. So battery's gonna last you a long time too. Couple other things. So I did get some Mama Chia squeeze packs. These are really good, but I can't seem to find them ever at the grocery store, like ever. And I look every single time. I also got some prebiotic ones as well. The Chia squeeze packs are so good. They're like 70 calories for 1 pack, and I just love chia seeds. I prefer them for snack. Help maybe TMI keep everything regular, but the Mama Chia like drinks packs, all of it, anything Mama Chia tastes really good too. The only one I've never loved is the mango like coconut one. It's orange. I don't like that. So I did get the Mama Chia prebiotic and then the Mama Chia just regular squeeze pack, but these are really, really good little quick snacks on the go. So I thought about bringing this in here, but it's literally just like green matcha. So I have been trying to cut back on my caffeine a little bit. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a later part of the video when I share a book that I've been reading, but for a couple reasons, one of the main ones being I just couldn't get out of bed in the morning without that fuel. And like, my husband would bring me coffee and I just couldn't even open my eyes. Like, it was just, I was becoming very dependent on caffeine, and I don't love to be someone who absolutely needs something just to exist. So I've definitely cut back, and with that, I believe like 1 cup of coffee has like 250 milligrams of caffeine, and matcha, like 1 cup of matcha has like 30 milligrams. So definitely still has caffeine in it, but it has been so nice. And actually, when I cut back on caffeine, and I don't believe in coincidences, I actually now am smaller than I was when I got pregnant as far as weight goes, simply because 1, I just haven't been doing as much strength workouts as I was before, but 2, I feel like my body just wasn't loving caffeine as much. I was using almond milk in my coffee, so I know it wasn't like, you know, I quit half and half or anything. Switching from caffeine to just matcha, like just that huge reduction in the caffeine that I usually was drinking. Like, I was usually drinking like 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day versus 1 cup of matcha. I did lose, I mean, a pretty decent amount of weight fairly quickly, just from letting that caffeine go, and I'm no longer dependent on it. So I did get this matcha from Amazon. It gets great reviews. A lot of people told me this is a very high quality matcha, and so I do keep it stored in the fridge because that's just what they said you should do on the pack. For making matcha, now you can also use this whisk. I actually use this whisk. This is incredible. So I was having to heat water and then, you know, prepare the matcha, and then in a cup I was having to stick this down in here, and I feel like it was just making kind of a mess. So now what I do is I will put 2 scoops of the matcha in here. I will pour the water directly into this, and then when I put the whisk in here, anything that like shoots out, you know, from the fast whisk, it doesn't shoot out and like make a mess because of this little lip right here. So I will hold the whisk in here, prepare the matcha with the water for like 40 seconds, and then I will pour it into a mug, add in, you know, everything that I want, and then I'm good to go. So this is really nice if you do like matcha. I saw a girl on TikTok that uses this to make her matcha, so I of course bought it and I love it. All right, so we do have some tech stuff here, and I feel like this is really fun. Now these are separate. I did get a different keychain because I just wasn't crazy about my keychain that I had. I wanted a new one. This one fits over your wrist. It does come with a little tassel. They have a lot of colors. I mean, not really much I can say about this, but I could talk all day about this right here. So this is a little key fob. You basically just type in what kind of car you have, and then it will pull up your key fob. Now, this needs to look exactly like your key fob in order for it to fit and work. If even one of the buttons different, like there was a newer Nissan button, it will not work for your car. So definitely make sure it looks like your key fob. And this part right here is what comes off, and you literally just slide your key fob in. It works so well, and I feel like it just makes your keys look so much cuter. Does it matter? No, but I thought it was adorable, so I got it. Now, I am currently holding my iPad in my lap. I have the list of everything that I wanted to make sure I shared with you guys here, and I've been using my iPad a lot more, so I decided to go ahead and get a keypad for it. I feel like these are significantly easier to use if you are using an iPad, and I feel like the iPad's just great for a quick docking station because you can do so much on an iPad. So this is the Logitech keypad, and it does have the ability to pair to 3 different devices here, so it was very easy to pair. I really like this. It's battery operated and works really, really well. So I've been using that with my iPad lately, and I didn't want to get a true Apple Pen, but I wanted one, so I just felt like the price of those is crazy. So this connects so quickly, so easy, turns on and off by tapping the top right there. I mean, this works really nicely, especially when I'm like editing photos. I've actually been using this a ton because I'm working on Canva for my holiday gift guides right now. So this is a fraction of the price, and I have been using these 2 nonstop this week. And then one more for tech. I actually did not read the reviews, and I should have, because I feel like this is not worth it for the price, but I like it. It's just, the picture is really deceiving. So it looks like you get 2 of these for like, I think it's like $15 or something. Yeah, you only get 1. And it's essentially a safe screen cleaner. So I've seen people, I don't have the balls to do it, but I've seen people actually spray this directly on their iMacs, and it cleans it off. Basically, you spray it here, and then you actually will take, like, this is supposed to be what you wipe your screen off with. I don't have the balls to do that. What I have been doing is spraying it onto a cloth and then kind of like wiping the cloth on the computer screen and then using this to get the like excess off. It works just as well. All of my devices are clean, and I've been using this for about a week or 2, and I haven't noticed any damage to them. But I don't know, something about just like, I've been taught my whole life just not to spray directly on the monitors. So I just am nervous to do that. I like this. I just feel like the price of it is ridiculous. So for beauty, I feel like I've been living under a rock, okay? Why am I just now finding out that they have actual body brushes to put your self-tanner on? And you guys, it looks 4 million times better than a mitt, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I'm stingy. I've seen people say you can use like a glove, like just a regular like medical glove to apply your self-tanner, and they swear it's better. I hated that. I felt like it was streaky. This is amazing. So it's from Beauty by Earth. So is the face brush. Now this is, I don't use like put self-tanner on my face. I usually use this for like right around my face or my hands and my feet. But when I typed in like self-tanning brush, I got this, and I was like, wait, this is incredible. So I can do my legs in like, it takes me about the same amount of time to like, basically we're going to talk tanning my leg. However, I use a fraction of the product that I used to use. So that's really nice too, because you are saving more product. So therefore you're saving more money in the long run. So if you've never tried a brush, definitely try this out for self-tanning. But again, always get you one of these for hands, feet, face if you do it, or even just like around your face. Now I've told you guys before, I am a big menstrual disc person, not a menstrual cup person, but I have one of each. So I don't have bad periods. I'm gonna be honest, even now, postpartum, my period came back 9 weeks postpartum, even though everyone told me it wasn't gonna come back for a while until I was done breastfeeding. Yeah, I've had my freaking period since I was 9 weeks postpartum, but still don't have bad periods. So I have always, even since before I was pregnant, preferred the Flex menstrual disc, mainly because this is a menstrual disc, so it has the same menstrual cup features, but it is not reusable. Something about that just kind of just didn't work for me. So I do like these. They come in little small convenient packs. You use one, you throw it away. If you get cramps, you guys, this is gonna be a lifesaver. I feel like once I stopped using tampons and started using discs, total game changer. My cramp that I already had barely any of just completely went away, like entirely. And I started using this a couple months before I got pregnant, and so as soon as I did get my period back, I was like, oh yes, we are going to be using these now from now on. Now I did try the menstrual cup after I gave birth, and it had nothing to do with the flow, if we're gonna be honest. I think most of you here are women. My flow is definitely heavier since having a baby, understandably so. It's still fine for the menstrual disc, but something about having to reuse the menstrual cup, I just didn't love it. And I also feel like there was a design flaw in the one that Flex made, because that little thing that you use, like pull it out, it made it, I don't know, I didn't love it. So come to find out, they created a reusable menstrual disc. Now, I don't know if that was because people complained about their menstrual cups, but this one is reusable, and it looks like this. So essentially this is what the menstrual discs look like when they are full. Do not let this scare you. I promise this holds a lot more than it looks like it does. Again, I know TMI, but most of us are women here. All of us are probably women here. But if you are someone who is scared of the menstrual cups, menstrual discs, do not be, especially if you have painful cramps, because I always assumed my cramps were, and I know some people have cramps for different reasons, but for me, I always assumed my cramps were because of just whatever was going on in my uterus. And it wasn't until I removed the thing that was stopping the blood flow and, you know, like truly like plugging the blood flow and just let the blood flow happen, that all of my cramps completely disappeared. Before I move forward anymore, I do want to share a book with you guys that I bought. This is the Happy Hormone Guide. Now, to not get too much into it, I told you guys I was never going to go back on birth control. It's just not something that once I went off of and I realized how different it affected me mentally, physically, my periods were overwhelmingly painful every single month on birth control. It's just not, I don't feel like it's for me. And if it is for you, that's incredible. But for me, it's not something I'll ever do again. So I have noticed the past couple months, and I do think that some of it does have to do with the fact that I got my period back, but I am still breastfeeding. My hormones have just been absolute chaos, and I've started feeling a little bit off lately. I did do a blood test. If this was all me, I have not been diagnosed by a doctor at all, and it is something I do plan to bring up to her. And I believe my like wellness check is in March. If I have not corrected it myself then, but basically I wasn't feeling that great. I felt like caffeine definitely had something to do with it, so I cut out caffeine. I started to Google my symptoms, which I know you shouldn't do, but it did lead me to, you know, eventually I went down a rabbit hole. I found some TikTok accounts that talked about hormone balance, and a couple of these people that I found were talking about their symptoms when they decided to balance their hormones naturally, and they were sounding a little bit too familiar. So basically what I believe I have is called HPA axis dysregulation, I believe is how you say it, or adrenal fatigue. And that led me to two books. So the first book is called The Women's Guide to Hormonal Harmony. I'm reading that on my Kindle currently. And actually that book mixed with this book were the two things that kind of made me realize, because both of them talked about this HPA axis dysregulation, and both of them talked about this adrenal fatigue, and both of them seemed to say the same things when they listed out the symptoms. All of this stuff is kind of understandable why it's happening, but at the same time, when I'm done breastfeeding, I really am going to be looking to balance my hormones out as quickly as possible, because it's starting to really affect my mood and just how I feel about things and my anxiety levels, and just I could literally make a whole video on it. So I am reading that and this book as well to kind of get as ready as I can for when I am officially done breastfeeding. This is actually a kind of like a cookbook, but she takes you through more like how to get your body like regulated on its own, and gives meal plans and stuff in the meantime. Again, I'm kind of reading the two at the same time as each other, and again, I could talk about it forever and ever and ever and ever. I will get off my tangent here, but I am very in tune with my body. I always have been, and my symptoms just kind of came out of nowhere and were very weird, but do make sense if you look at what your body is going through when you are breastfeeding and you have your period, which I currently do. So yeah, it's been an interesting ride, but I'm reading both of those, trying to get ahead of the curve for when I am done officially breastfeeding and can work on regulating my hormones by myself. Fashion, I do have some of my stuff, and then I also have some stuff for my husband. Now, if my husband ever is trying on a outfit for you guys on camera and he's like doing turns and sharing things, someone come check on that man. He is not okay, because he is not that kind of person. I'm gonna try and take pictures of him and his stuff. If not, I'll just post the ad photos. My husband is not into try-on hauls. I've had people ask if he'll do one, and he's like, haha, no. I will start with my stuff and then I'll share his. This bag. Look at this. It looks so much like a designer. I don't think we're allowed to say it. Please don't use the D word, D-U-P-E. Please don't use that word in the comments. You get flagged for that anytime you use that. So we're going to say look for less. This is a designer look for less. And the only thing is this inside, it does not fit a ton of stuff. I literally just got this today. So like quality at face value seems great. It's got the gold chain up top. The only thing is it does have, and I don't know if the designer version has this, like this side is black and silver and this side is the black and gold chain. I think that's very interesting. But this is actually what I was carrying before, is the Pochette Matisse. I feel like they're actually very similar in size and stuff, but the Pochette Matisse fits a lot and this does not fit a lot. So something to keep in mind. I feel like this is really nice if you are like a mom and you don't like to carry big bags, but you still like to carry a ton of stuff, because I feel like the Pochette Matisse is a little bit deceiving. So this one doesn't hold a ton, but a designer look for less for sure. Feels very decent for the quality, and it came in really quick. I think I ordered it yesterday and it arrived today. Now I did get this mama sweatshirt, and I also got this mama's boy sweatshirt for Ezra. I prefer to match them. I'm not sure if you can really see it in the photo, but y'all know I'm all about a mama and me outfit. So I did get this, and I talked about it the other day on my YouTube video where I shared like my Amazon fashion haul. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but I adore that sweatshirt. Now I did get Sam 2 things. I got him or 3 things this month actually. I got him this blue coat. He looks so good in it. He needed something that was in between. He had a pea coat or like a jacket, and I was like, you need something in between, like not as fancy as a pea coat, but warm, and you know, warmer than a jacket. So I got him this, and he really does like it. He's only been able to wear it twice so far. I got it just a couple weeks ago, and it's been very cold this week, but only it was like 2 days that he really felt like he needed the coat. So far he has no complaints about it. It does have a little bag that it comes with, which is really nice if you do want to just, you know, take it camping or something, or you're packing it up for the winter. But for day-to-day use, it definitely stays in the closet. And then I got him this maroon like sweatshirt. He looks really good in this color, and it just is something nice. It's a little bit more like, he can wear this casually, but he actually can wear this to work. His work, they have business casual. I would say more towards the casual side. He does still need to look nice and put together, so I got him this. It is very, very warm, and it fits true to size. And then finally, you guys know I talk about those shower shoes, those cloud shoes that I love so much. You guys, my husband was all about Crocs. He actually threw his Crocs away because he said, well, one, he was like, I don't need 2 pairs of shoes to go outside, and he actually got some in black, and he loves them. And it's super funny, but those are his like, I'm gonna throw these on and run outside shoes, and he prefers the black ones over the Crocs, and so I win. I know a bunch of you guys were talking about those shoes like compared to Crocs. We win, because my husband threw away his Crocs for those. Last but not least, the baby section. So I did mention the Mama's Boy sweatshirt. I love to dress Ezra up into Mama's Boy stuff, Mama's Mini, Mama's Favorite, all of it, because right now while he lets me dress him, I'm gonna dress him up in things to let him know, you know, one day he can look back on and be like, why did you dress me like that? Because you're my boy. So I got him that, and he has been wearing it this week. But also, now they're not the real Converse brand, but like, look at the baby Converses. So he is definitely he likes to kick his legs a lot. But now that it is colder outside, I'm someone who I'm okay with the fight to keep the shoes on the feet, the socks on the feet, whatever. His feet are a lot bigger now, so things are starting to fit him, but I cannot in good conscience leave my house with like a coat, a jacket, you know, shoes and everything. He's got his jacket on, his pants, and then he like doesn't have shoes on. He needs shoes because it's just too cold. So I did get him these, and they're adorable. And I like that they have laces, because that actually does make it a lot easier to keep on his feet. I feel like anything he kicks off, it doesn't have a lace to it, but if it has a lace, he is not able to kick it off as easily, or at all. He actually doesn't kick the Converses off at all. Now I did get him some pants for Halloween. So he's going as a little pumpkin, because that's what we call him. He's a little pumpkin with his little red hair, and he needed some striped pants, so I got him a pack of like a little 4-pack of striped pants. They fit true to size. They're just literally simple sweatpants, but I did get those because I wanted him to wear the black and white stripe pants with just like a solid black long sleeve shirt for the top, but since the pumpkin like costume is actually sleeveless, so he'll be wearing that for Halloween. Now I did get a ton of these, and also this little sticky. I don't think I actually ran out of them, so I ordered more. These are a game changer, especially now that my son wants to touch everything and put it in his mouth. If we go out to eat, I wipe everything down. The high chair, even before I will put his little like high chair like cushion or whatever in the high chair itself, before he sits in it at the restaurant, I just wipe it all down. I wipe the table down. He is throwing things in the floor, so I wipe those down. But also there are these sticky, they claim they're reusable. I don't believe that they are. I don't think you should reuse them. Little mats that you take the like plastic off the back. It's not the most convenient, but you do have to pull the little strips off of the back of these mats, and then you put the mat on the table. I have been to lots of restaurants with them. It has not ever damaged a table, not even sort of, but he really likes the way these look. We have one of those high chairs that like connects to the table and it has its own tray, but this actual little reusable mat that, again, I don't think you should reuse, he really enjoys. Like, he'll look at it and he'll pat at it. It's almost like a sensory toy in a way, because he can see all the different colors and he's like trying to touch on it. Loves, like, the octopus is specifically his favorite, and the starfish as well. So that's great if you like to go out to eat. You have that mat, but also get you some of these wet wipes, because let me tell you something, kids touch everything and everybody is dirty and filthy in the world. I also got this car toy. Ezra was getting very bored in the car and started to scream a lot. Now that he just, you know, he can understand a lot more, he wants to be stimulated, and so he really likes this little toy. Now we do have a car seat. We actually bought that this month. It's like the Even Flow Gold 360 car seat, and it rotates, and it has been a dream come true to get him in and out of the car. It is so much easier. So basically I'll put him into the car, I'll turn the seat to the side, and then I will hand him, like the way it kind of lays, I'll just hand him the toy, and it has all these little like toys on it that he can play with in the car. So gone are the days that he screams, and it is incredible because he is now so peaceful in the car and he's so happy. I also got this baby food maker because sometimes, like for instance tonight we're having chili. He needs to eat, but we make our chili spicy. So although we do baby led weaning, we don't want to give him spicy chili, and so I have things like this. It's just quickly going to steam any food that you need in this basket, or you can use the bottom basket and puree thing. I find that it does work very well to steam. Puree, it just really depends on what it is, but as far as steaming goes, this is very quick. It's very easy to use. I mean, you literally plug it in and it kind of just tells you what to do from there. And then lastly, because I know I have talked so much during this video, we have a water cup. This is great because you can fold the straw down, throw it in your bag, fill it up with water, and then you can pop that little lid up. Now this straw is a little bit difficult to use. It's taken him a little bit of time to figure out, but the pediatrician told us we need to start giving him a few ounces of water a day, and also he does need to start drinking out of a straw just for oral development. So we do really like these. It came in a little 2-pack and we got them from Amazon. I'm sorry, this video was long, but y'all know how I get about my Amazon videos. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to go below and click the subscribe button if you're new here. Love y'all, and I will see you in the next video.